will now give you a chance to try some of these binomial distribution problems. And so in this case, approximately 12% of married couples leave the country for their honeymoon. So you're going to take a sample of 25 married couples. And so you first want to find the probability that exactly 3 leave the country for the honeymoon. Then you want to find the probability that the number that leave the country is less than or equal to 3. And then finally, what's the probability that at least 5 leave the country? And so in doing this problem, you probably want to construct a probability distribution to write out your probabilities and to see what's going on. So go ahead, press pause, see how you do, and then when you're done, you can go ahead and start the video and then we'll look at it. Okay, so now let's go ahead and see how you did. So in this case, your N is the number of trials, which is the number of married couples that you select. And either those married couples left the country or they didn't. So the success in this case is they left the country, because you want to find the probability that exactly 3 leave the country. So the success is that they left the country, and the probability of that happening is 0.12. And so the failure is that they don't leave the country, which is 1 minus 0.12, which is 0.88. So this first one, the probability that X is equal to 3. So we just use the formula, 25, choose 3, 0.12 to the third, and then 0.88 to the, so 25 minus 3 is 22nd. So it's out of 25 trials, choose 3 successes. The probability of a success raised to the number of successes. Probability of a failure raised to the number of failures. And now we put it in our calculator. So 25, choose 3 times 0.12 to the third times 0.88 to the 22nd. And then what I get here is approximately 0.2387 when rounded to 3 decimal places. Okay, so now in this one we want to find the probability that the number that leave the country is less than or equal to 3. So I'm going to write that down here, less than or equal to 3. And the reason I write it down here is so that I can make a table up here, a probability distribution table. Okay, and so now this goes from 0 to 25. So I'm going to skip ahead and look at this one, and it wants me to find the probability that the number that leave the country for their honeymoon is at least 25. So what I want to do here is probably make this go at maybe up to 6. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, on up to 25. And then what I just found here was the probability that 3, so this is 0.2387. And now what I want to do is I want to find less than or equal to 3, I want to find 0, 1, and 2. And then I'm going to add all 4 of these together. So maybe I'll set my thing like this. And so for 0, I'm going to go back and put 25, choose 0, 0.12 to the 0 power, and 0.88 to the 25th power. And when I do that, I get that this is 0.0409. Okay, now I'm going to go back and I'm going to do it for x equals 1. So 25, choose 1 success, probability of a success raised to the first, probability of a failure raised to the 24th power. And there I get 0.1395. And then finally, for 2, I'm going to go up, and I'll do 25, choose 2.12 to the second power, 0.88 to the 23rd power. And then here, this is 0.2283. So 0.2283. And so, to answer the probability that x is less than or equal to 3, I am going to add 0.0409 plus 0.1395 plus 0.2283 plus 0.2387, and add these together. So 0.0409 plus 0.1395 plus 0.2283 plus 0.2387, and what I get here is 0.6474. So that is the probability that the number of people leave the country is less than or equal to 3. So now the final one, at least 5 left the country. What's the probability that at least 5? So at least 5 means 5 or more. So I want to find x greater than or equal to 5. Okay, so now I'm going to use my table here. So what I want to find is the probability for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all the way up to 25. Okay, so instead of finding all these probabilities and adding them up, I'm going to circle the probabilities that I want. Okay, and I'm going to use the fact that the total of all the probabilities equals 1. And so these are the ones I want. So to find these, I just have to take 1 minus the ones that I don't want. 1 minus these. And so I got to add the one for 4 in there. So 25, choose 4, times 0.12 to the 4th, times 0.88 to the 21st. And I get 0.1790. 0.1790. And so they all add up to 1. I want these, so I just take 1 minus the ones I don't want. So to add all these together, the first 4 are this, and so I just add the 0.1790 to this. So 0.6474 plus the 0.1790, and what I get is 0.8264. So this is 0.8264. And so to find this, I just take 1 minus the ones I don't want, 0.8264, and I get 0.1736. And that is the probability that it's greater than or equal to 5. So that the probability that the number that leave the country for their honeymoon is greater than or equal to 5 is 0.1736.